Well, Zac, the question on everyone's lips is, how did signing with Rugby Australia come about?
Yeah, mate, obviously super pumped, and I guess for me, I obviously grew up playing it, and it was obviously that and rugby league, and mate, I guess the opportunity arose to switch codes, and mate, it's something that I'm super looking forward to, and you know, can't wait to I guess sink my teeth into, mate, and try and become the best rugby union player I can.
When did those conversations with Rugby Australia start to happen?
I think it was the back end of last year, and yeah, it was yeah, I guess from then on in, just sort of been in constant back and forth, and mate, managed to get it done the other day, and yeah, it's a big sign of relief, mate, and I guess a challenge that I'm super looking forward to, and yeah, I just can't wait to rip into it.
Why did you sign with Rugby Australia?
Mate, I guess for me it's the challenge, and I guess to potentially be a dual international, that's a big driving factor, and something that you know I'll be really proud of to hopefully achieve one day. And but I think the challenge is to, you know, it was a game for me that I played, and when I was younger, and the challenge is now to, you know, to find my feet again in the game, and just to build myself back to getting where I want to be, and trying to become the best rugby union player I can. And it's yeah, a decision that I'm super pleased with.
There's been a lot of noise in the last couple of weeks in the NRL community, particularly in the last 24 hours since your signing has been announced. And there's some people who've claimed you've turned your back on rugby league, which is a game that gave you so much. Do you have anything to say to those rugby league fans who claim you're turning your back on that game?
Oh, for me, mate, that's just so far from the truth. I mean, for me, it's obviously not the case. I mean, comments and things can be taken a different way sometimes, but for me, I'm so grateful for what the game of rugby league's been able to give me and my family. And you know, I've been lucky enough to play the game at the highest level, and you know, I've made so many friendships, and some of my best mates are in that game. And you know, here's not to say that I might be back in the game one day.
I want to wind back the clock, if we can, to last year. You're 1 year into a 4-year deal at the Parramatta Eels, and you seek a release. What went into that decision? What was behind that decision?
Yeah, I guess for me, mate, it was initially to go play rugby union. There was circumstances that didn't eventuate, and for me, it obviously didn't go through. But I kept in constant communication with Rugby Australia to try and sort of make something happen.
When you said the opportunity to play rugby union, that was first presented with the possibility of joining R360. What was it that attracted you to that possible opportunity?
Yeah, well, essentially, travel in the world as well, mate, and you know, that's what I sort of spoke about before, and I think that's a massive factor, and but mate, obviously it didn't eventuate, but it was every intention of mine to come and play rugby union, and but mate, here we are, and so yeah, it's something that I'm super looking forward to.
It was obviously something you were so driven to do that even the prospect of a possible 10-year ban, which the NRL publicly stated would be imposed on anyone who left rugby league to go and play R360, didn't deter your motivation. Why? That's a big risk to take. Why were you still willing to take that risk?
Yeah, I guess before that had come out, I think I'd been granted a release to go, and I'd already yeah, been given a release from the Eels. But for me, mate, like it was a challenge that I seen as well in regards to rugby union. Like, mate, I'd been able to achieve the things that I'd set out to achieve in the NRL, and I guess the club at that point were ready to move in another direction as well. And so for me, mate, the opportunity to test myself as well is something that I took a liking to. And
people want to understand what's happened over the last few weeks and months. So continuing along that timeline, R360 postpones their competition, which you were hoping to take part in. When that happens, what are you thinking? And then what are your next options?
I guess for me, mate, it's a scenario to which you know, it's sort of hard to comment comment on as well, because there's been so much speculation over it, and but for me, like I've obviously made a decision to come to Rugby Union, and it's one that myself and my family are super proud of, and contending as well, and we're really looking forward to it. But mate, there was just obviously scenarios that happened, and it didn't eventuate, and we tried to come up with a decision and make a decision, and mate, we've ended up making one, and one that I stand by. And
you mentioned before the approach from the Melbourne Storm, and what player in their right mind wouldn't at least entertain that. It's from the outside got legal, and that can appear messy. What was your mindset like through that legal battle?
Mate, for me it was an opportunity that we pursued with the Melbourne Storm, and they had my full backing, in the sense that we tried to have something sorted, but circumstances didn't allow that to happen, and you know, that's obviously a reason for not being a part of the game at the moment as well.
Looking back over the last couple of months, do you have any regrets with what's played out, or would you have done anything differently?
No, not at all, mate. Obviously it's you know, panned out, and I guess it's gained a lot of traction, and there's obviously been a whole heap of opinions that have been thrown up in regards to it. But as I've sort of stated a few times now, is, you know, I'm super grateful for every opportunity that the NRL has given to me. But it's an opportunity and a decision that I've made that's, you know, obviously for the future, and one that it really excites me, and you know, it's a decision that I can't wait to sort of sink my teeth into and become the best rugby union player I can, and it's obviously in the near future. But yeah,
just on contracts, there's a lot of people from the outside who question your commitment to contracts. You got an early release from the Dragons, an early release from the Eels. How committed are you to the next 2 years, this contract you've just signed with Rugby Australia?
Yeah, obviously super committed, mate. I think it's a really good test for me, and one that I'm really looking forward to. And I think the Western Force have showed a lot of faith in me and Rugby Australia, and it's a really good test for me, and I can't wait to just be a part of it, mate, and rip in and try and become the best rugby union player I can.
Do you understand why people do question that commitment to contracts, I guess, just given what we've seen the last 2 and a bit years?
Yeah, well, I can understand too, mate. But at the same time, there's obviously been certain scenarios that have come up, and I guess what's been put out there is a part of the narrative too. And it's mate, it's been a funny situation to be a part of. But obviously, I'm grateful for what the NRL have given me and the opportunities, and you know, I want to reiterate that, you know, I'm looking forward to the future and the future of rugby union, and yeah, that's where my head's at, mate.
Why join the Force specifically as opposed to one of the other Super Rugby sides in Australia?
I think meeting with Simon Cron, the coach, he was really good from the minute that you know, we first met each other. He was just so transparent in where he thought that he wanted me to play and how he could help my game, and you know, we just want to build that from the ground up. And you know, he spoke about his team and his staff and everyone involved, and was just so welcoming when we went over there. And it's a really good opportunity, and I've got a lot of faith in them guys, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. They're such genuine people, and a team that I really want to be a part of.
What did you make of Perth? Had the chance to visit the Western Force and their facilities. What did you make of the city you're going to be living in? Yeah,
really good. Like, I love it, and it's obviously super hot and super sunny over there, and a bit like my hometown where I grew up. But mate, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and Perth's such a nice place, and I guess it's a little bit slower pace compared to Sydney, and but yeah, me and my family we're obviously going to move over there, and really looking forward to it.
Now that you've signed, people want to know when they're going to be able to see you on the field. When do you expect you'll be able to get on the field for the first time and play first game of professional rugby union?
Well, mate, hopefully sooner rather than later. And as I said, I've been on the sidelines for a period of time now, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, mate, it's sooner rather than later. But I think I'll hopefully get up to the speed of the game. I'll move over there next week and rip into training, and mate, yeah, I'd sort of stab it in the dark, but hopefully in a few weeks, yeah, that would be ideal.
How do you think the skills you've developed and mastered and shown on the biggest stage in rugby league are going to transfer to rugby union?
I guess the skills and what I bring to the game will definitely help my game in rugby union, but I would be naive to think that, you know, I don't have a lot of things to work on. You know, I definitely have so much that I need to learn, and as I touched on with Simon Cron, I feel like he can really help my game, and he's been super transparent with me and where he wants me to improve and become the best player I can.
What part of the game do you think is going to be the most challenging for you?
Probably the defensive point of view. I think just understanding, defensively, and I think that's the focus for me. I've been trying to watch a fair bit of union as of late, and yeah, I think that's the exciting thing. That's the thing that excites me the most is how much growth that there is, and as myself as a player, and that's the thing that really excites me and motivates me. Yeah.
Have you had any advice from the players? You mentioned you've got good mates who play rugby union, good mates who play for the Wallabies. Have any of them given you any advice for the transition?
Yeah, I think so. They have, but it's been one, and the advice has more come from, mate, you back yourself. Like, it's you know, what you're willing to put in, you get out of it. And for me, it's, you know, I'm just super focused in trying to become the best player I can, and you know, if that's going to meet people's standards, I don't know. But for me, it's me about turn up every day trying to become the best player that I can, and you know, that's what my focus is, and that's exactly my thought process, and you know, that's all I'm worried about. And you know, if I feel I can do that every day, then you know, I'm becoming a better player and becoming a better person.
Did you have any conversations with Western Force coach Simon Cron about positions you want to play or he sees you playing in the game?
Yeah, well, obviously, mate, I've played rugby league from a rugby league's point of view. I've obviously played in the backs, so that's obviously where it's going to be, come rugby union. And for me, I think it's anywhere from fullback, centre, wing. Making the transition, that's sort of where it's going to be. But wherever that position is that best fits for the team, it's, you know, I'm just gonna try and become the best union player I can, and understand the game from different aspects. And that's as I said, something that motivates me a lot is trying to understand the game from all different aspects and different positions. And I guess from a league point of view, I've had the luxury to be able to play in so many different positions. And rugby union, not too sure exactly where that's at, but I want to be well rounded in the sense that I can cover positions wherever need be for that team.
You're quite an accomplished goal kicker in rugby league. You hoping to bring that skill to rugby union as well?
Yeah, I think for sure. It's you know, wherever I can is to add value to the team, and I think that's something that I've done from a young kid. But for me, I think, yeah, as I said, wherever I can add value to the team, and if that is doing a bit of goal kicking or wherever it is, yeah, absolutely. What
are your goals for joining this game for this year, just for 2026?
Oh, for me, my goals are to get back on the field. Like, mate, it's been a period of time since I've been on the field, and mate, I'm starting a completely different code. You know, it's a code I haven't played since I was, you know, 14, 15 years of age. So, you know, that's more than 10 years ago now. So for me, mate, it's something that's, for me, want to be able to play some real good games of Super Rugby and just learning the game. So, you know, that's my goals are to finish this season the best that I can, and help the Western Force the best I can in any way, both on the field, off the field, and just learning as much as I can.
You're obviously someone who sets goals and goes hard to achieve them. No doubt pulling on the gold jersey for the Wallabies at that home World Cup next year, 2027, is one of those goals. What would it mean to you to achieve that and play in that tournament?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a driving factor too, mate. And you know, I'm sure every rugby union player would be saying the same thing. So yeah, for sure, and it's something that definitely motivates me. And mate, to be a junior national is obviously something that I'd be super proud of. But For me, obviously, it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication and sacrifice to be able to get there. And you know, that is what really excites me, is, you know, and ultimately, mate, this puts me completely out of my comfort zone. Mate, to stay in rugby league and to stay doing what I was doing, and to, I guess, mate, for me, I was playing at the highest level, and you know, I was fortunate enough to be doing that. And but for me, like, this is completely thrown out of my comfort zone. You know, moving away from family and that too. But it's something that motivates me too. And you know, I don't want to finish my career and go, you know, I should have given that a crack. I should have given this a crack. I should have given that a crack. But you know, that opens yourself up to a lot of judgment. But you know, you got to be willing to wear that. And for me, it's, you know, I'm willing to make those sacrifices. And you know, I guess it turns the noses of some people, but you know, that's what you got to be willing to live by.
Handling that judgment, that attention, potentially that criticism, that'll really dial up when you do finally get selected to play your first game, you know, for the Force, one day hopefully for the Wallabies as well. How do you handle that attention, that scrutiny?
It's part and parcel of the game, mate. And you know, I guess if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, you know. So it's not. And ultimately, like every NRL player, you know, they make sacrifices, and I think people are quick to forget that, you know, all NRL players, all rugby union players make so many sacrifices to be able to put their body on the line each week. But for me, you know, it's part and parcel of the game, and you know, it's what gives everyone something to talk about. You know, it's fans love the game and both codes, and you know, that's why we do it too. You know, to give the fans something to watch, but ultimately we do it because we love the game, and that just comes part and parcel of it. Yeah.
Have you had any conversations with current Wallabies coach Joe Schmidt and incoming Wallabies coach Les Kiss? Les Kiss himself played on the wing in rugby league, played State of Origin, played for the Kangaroos as well, a long time ago. Sorry, Kissy, but what conversations have you had with those two guys?
Yeah, they've been super transparent with me as well. But I've had some catch-ups with both of them throughout this whole process, and they've been super transparent, and they were super looking forward to me coming over. But yeah, it's people like that give you a lot of confidence and back your ability, and they understand what it's about. They know what it takes to play rugby union at the highest level. They obviously know my rugby league game, so they know what I need to be able to be successful in rugby union. You know, they've given me a lot of advice too, and I dare say I'll be working with them a little bit close over the next few months in regards to my rugby union game. But yeah, they've been super transparent in where they feel I'm at, and where they want me to get to. But yeah, they've been really supportive.
And just lastly, you played rugby union as a junior, as well as playing rugby league and cricket and any other sport you could sink your teeth into. Rugby league was probably at the top of that list, and you've gone on to play 7 years in the NRL and play at the highest level. What do you think that young boy who played a bit of rugby as a junior would think now that you're on this path to hopefully representing Australia at a home World Cup in rugby union?
Oh, he'd be, you know, he was just a free spirit and just, you know, chase the footy wherever that was, whatever that was playing. It was rugby union, rugby league, whatever that was. He was just a young boy that just didn't care, and you know, just loved the game. Whatever it was, just chasing whatever ball it was around. You know, but he'd be saying, you know, don't die wondering, and you know, that's where my mindset's at, mate. And as I said, it opens yourself up to criticism, but you know, mate, at the end of the day, you got to back yourself and test yourself. And for me, that's exactly where I'm at. And you know, I won't die wondering, and I'll give myself every opportunity to be the best rugby union player I can.
Zac Lomax, welcome to Rugby Union.
Thank you.